History of Lithuania, or Academic History of Lithuania, is a 13-volume series of books dedicated to the history of Lithuania. Its first volume was published in 2005, and its last volume is scheduled for publication in 2011. After its completion, it will be the largest and the most comprehensive academic publication covering Lithuania's history ever released. As of 2011, 5 volumes had been released. Background: after Lithuania regained its independence from the Soviet Union in 1990, a number of academic works were published by prominent historians of the state's history. These included Edvardas Gudavičius' Lietuvos Istoria, Nu Seniausių laikų iki 1569 METU in 1999, Zigmantas Kieropas' Lietuvos Valstybės Istoria in 2004, and Alfredas Bumblauskas' Senacijos Lietuvos Istoria 1009 to 1795 in 2005. However, the majority of these were dedicated to specific time frames and did not cover the entire period from prehistory to the modern era. The first proposal to issue a complete history may be credited to Professor Antanas Tyler. The suggestion was reinforced by academic Vytautas Merkis. The opportunity to issue a fundamental and comprehensive academic work arose in 2000, when a program sponsored by the Lithuanian Institute of History, coordinated by Professor Habel, Dr. Juratke Aupin, was approved. But the approved program, each volume of the academic history will cover a particular historical time frame, and its 13 volumes will encompass Lithuania's entire history. After its completion, it will be the largest academic publication covering Lithuania's history ever released and will include the latest research findings. Its intent is to transcend narrow historical perspectives and to focus on the evolution of Lithuania. Political, ethical, confessional, and judicial themes will be covered in a European context, and the modern works of Ukrainian, Russian, and other states' historians will be examined. Initially 12 volumes were planned, but after the work began it became evident that coverage of modern Lithuanian history would require an additional volume. The successive volumes will be the same size, 25.5 centimeters by 16.5 centimeters. The editorial board of the series consists of the following scholars: Habel, Dr. Algirdas Girininkas, Drive; Arturas Dubonis, Professor; Dr. Zigmantas Kieropas, Professor; Habel, Dr. Juratke Aupin, Drive; Česlavas Laurinavičius, Drive; Rimantas Miknis, Drive; Gintautas Lasoriūnas, and Dr. Gintautas Zabiela. More than 20 scholars are working on this project. Each volume is peer-reviewed and has an additional responsible editor. The Lithuanian Institute of History is acting in cooperation with Lithuanian universities, including Vilnius University, increasing scholarly involvement in the project. Volume 1. The series' first volume, Lietuvos Istoria, Akmens amžius ankstyvasis metalų laikotarpis, was released in 2005. This volume covers the period between the end of the last ice age and the first written mention of the inhabitants in the Baltic region. It covers approximately 10,000 years, investigating the development of communities during the Paleolithic, Mesolithic, and Neolithic eras and the Bronze Age in a local and European context. Forest dwellers are examined along with agrarian societies. It features an improved periodization of epochs, and social developments are analyzed using not only archaeological findings, but the methodologies of the natural sciences as well. The genesis and evolution of particular local cultures such as Mesolithic Nemunas and Neolithic Nemunas is discussed. The 357-page volume volume was written by authors known for the fieldwork in archaeology and the prehistory of Lithuania. Dr. Tomas Ostrauskas, Drive. Vygandas Duodegalvis, Hab. Dr. Algirdas Girininkas IR, Drive. Jurgis Brazitis. Its responsible editor was Algirdas Girininkas. The volume was peer-reviewed by Professor Habel, Dr. Vladas Zulkas and Dr. Algimantas Merkavicius. Volume 2, the second volume, entitled Lietuvos Istria, Jalziamzius, was issued in 2007. It encompasses the era between the 1st century and the 12th century. Invoking archaeological research, it discusses Lithuania's formation and development, and the impacts made by the Vikings and by Rus. An in-depth analysis was made of the evolution of the Baltic tribes in the region, since these Lithuanians were the only Balts to create their own state. The volume was written by Dr. Gintautas Zabiela Habel, Dr. Vytautas Kazakevicius, Drive. Ilona Vaskvichut, Drive. Raza Benitruel and Dr. Darius Baronis. The responsible editor was Gintautas Zabiela. During the volume's preparation, Vytautas Kazakevicius died, and his work was finished by Zabiela. The 517-page volume was peer-reviewed by Dr. Albinas Kunsavicius and Dr. Mindaugas Bertasius. Volume 12. In 2008 was released another volume of the book entitled Sejuidis, Nu Oppositvok Imo Ikikovo 11 Ozios. Volume is written by Dr. Czeslavas Lorinavicius and Dr. Vladas Sarutavicius. Currently available part of the 12-volume. Volumes 3 through 13. The third volume will begin with the 12th century. The 13th and last volume will cover the 21st century. The last volume is scheduled for release in about 2011. According to a preliminary assessment, the remaining volumes will be organized and edited as follows.